Welcome, everybody. I'm excited to be doing this again. First off, we just want to thank everybody who believes in us and what we're doing. We'll be back on iTunes or Apple Podcast, Google, all the stuff that you can get podcasts on. We'll be there. Follow us on Instagram. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. Anything I missed, Devin?
No, I think you're good there.
Ari?
No, I don't think so.
Brandon?
I think you got them all.
What's that noise?
All right. Well, you guys look great, by the way.
What's that noise?
A lot of time for.
What's that
I
noise?
did my hair for the first time in like a week. I forgot how.
Looks good.
Thanks.
What's,
Yeah.
Full effort.
what's that noise?
What noise, buddy?
What's that noise?
This noise? Here, you can take it. All right. If he breaks your thing, Devin, we'll make another one. Although you said that's sentimental to you, isn't it?
Not really. I mean, I made it a long time ago. I think it was like the first things I made, but it's not. It's just like a hinge and two pieces of wood.
I'll tell you, worst case scenario, we'll have him rebuild it with all of his
Okay.
tools. So how quarantine 2020? How many more times in our lifetime is this going to happen, folks?
God, I hope 0.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like after this is done, there are going to be a lot more people working from home. Like, why not? I think we're going to redefine what essential workers are and non-essential. Who should need to go into an office? Who needs to drive? Like, I don't know.
I need to go into an office.
Me too.
I need to go in. This is awful. I hate working from home. I know a lot of people are like, yes, I get to go work from home. No, I want to go in. I hate it here.
What's your biggest
thing?
Do what?
Is it a productivity thing? You feel like you're just not as productive at home, or you get
Oh,
distracted?
I'm hateful right now, so no, I'm not productive.
Fair enough.
I don't we obviously can't take papers or documents out of the office.
Right.
This was a last second thing, and I have a stack of documents on my desk that I can't get to, so I can't work them.
They're not even letting you go into the office and pick stuff up, huh?
No, and we have this thing called soft phones that we haven't been able to answer the incoming calls because people can call in. We're just not letting people in the doors. And we're supposed to have these things called soft phones, but I don't have the equipment at home. And so if you can imagine how many people are calling in right now, and there's 3 management people that rotate to go into the office to get the mail, to answer the phones, it's awful. And I don't blame them. This is people's money, and they're scared. And there's 1,000 million trillion calls every day, and nobody can answer them.
It seems like your office needs to be open, but it also seems like at this moment in time, it would almost be dangerous for it to be open, not because of the disease, but I would imagine a lot of people are freaking out, worried about their money, and you'll have thousands of people in line. And God, there's a lot of people on edge. It's pretty interesting. And it's amazing. Oh, really? No, like you don't seem that on edge. I mean, I totally get why you're upset.
No, like I understand, and I am in pretty big favor of closing the doors to the public at this point, but I just want to be into the office, print stuff off, mail it to them, answer their phone calls, be able to get documents to the right place, be able to send claims on. And I feel helpless. And I think that's why it's very frustrating, because I'm not getting done what I feel like I need to get done for everybody. I don't know. That's my take on it. How about teaching? How about?
Well, we start class tomorrow. I don't want to divulge too much information. Like from the teachers. Well, hell, I don't care. Kids' grades don't count after April 10th. So kids can only improve their grade I don't know how many of our students listen to this, but like Devin and I were talking the other day, and I said, hey, selfishly, get your grades where they need to be, and then let's make this podcast stuff as good as humanly possible.
I know. I still don't understand how anything's going to work. Like, I don't understand. Like, it starts tomorrow, and it's like, there's no, like, forum for everybody to get in. Like, I've only had, like, 2 teachers email me, so I don't even know where this is going to go. Like,
well, your first hour teacher was the only teacher that was supposed to email you.
but don't we have 0 hour tomorrow?
You do, but it's at 9:00, and you're in Coach Law's class, right? 0 hour. You're in Coach Law's class, right? I would imagine. I would imagine he's going to be very prepared, and he'll get his students taken care of. He's pretty good at that, making sure.
School doesn't start till 9:00.
Nope. Every start till 9. Classes are, like, I don't even have class on Friday. I have one class on Tuesday, 9 to 9:30, and I'm done. I don't know. It's weird.
30-minute classes, 10-minute breaks, and then teachers are supposed to have 2 hours worth of office hours a day. So they want us to dress professionally, look like we do at school. And, I applied for that principal job, so I'm going to do what I need to do. But for me, this is how I kind of feel about everything. And Brandon, and I think Aries probably, just don't waste people's time. Don't waste teachers' times. Don't waste students' time.
Yeah.
That bothers me a little bit. So, but
that's what I think is going to come out of all of this. I think that we're going to realize just how much time we've wasted with school, with all this. Like, we can get a lot of work done in under 40 hours a week. Why do I need to sit in a desk for 12 years of my life if I already know the content? I'm ready to go. Let me go. Teachers too. Like, sometimes I've had that notion as a teacher. Like, some days I have 30 minutes of direct instruction. Some days I have 3 hours. It's rarely 55 minutes on the dot. Like, it ebbs, it flows. There's projects, there's not. This handles that. Now we're flexible. We do what we need to do to get kids their content, and we teach and we move on. I don't know. Like, I think that going forward, this is going to be the jolt that we needed to get into this kind of teaching from here on out, this kind of learning. College is already doing it. My life hasn't changed because of this, hardly at all.
I'm totally in agreement with you. But I do worry, like, if you're not an effective teacher, and we all know there's 2 kinds of effective teachers. There's teachers that have great relationships with their kids, but they may not be that great on the X's and O's of it. And then there's teachers that are really good at the X's and O's. But I think we're going to find out that, we just realized we could do the work of 130 people with 40 people. I do worry about that.
Let's just say that you're the person that is good with the content and good with the kids and relationships. You, like Khan Academy, I think that's a great example. It already exists in real life. 1 teacher, millions of students. You don't need all of it. Like, 1 talking head on the computer, and then have graders. I don't know. Like, find that person that's good at all of it, or that can really teach people. I hate to say it, but teaching might become somewhat obsolete in this model, where we don't need a million different people doing their own Zoom presentations and whatever else. Get the one that does it the best and let that person teach everybody. Like, that sounds very, I don't know, communist or something, like one central power, but it's a more efficient model.
But if you can teach, if every kid could have access to the best teacher on earth, why keep these buildings that cost millions of dollars open when you don't have to?
Agreed.
Well, and like, I think that's 100% true and scary for a lot of teachers, but like, I think a big aspect of it, good, bad, or ugly, is the social aspect of school and what kids learn. It might be awful for some kids. It might be great for some kids. But you're learning from it one way or the other. And because I'll never forget, when I was done with high school, I didn't want to go to college. I was done. I filled out a form to go work on a cruise ship.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I thought my parents were going to have a heart attack. And my grandma and grandpa, they said, come up for dinner. We want to talk to you. And so they sat me down and they said, we get it. You're sick of school. You're burnout, but you are going to learn just as much outside of the classroom at college that you do inside. And so I think, and yeah, I spent plenty of time outside of the classroom learning a lot of things at KU. So I agree. And I think that's what, because I 100% agree with what you're saying. You don't need that much time in school. You don't need that many teachers. It's getting done. They're learning a lot. But the social aspect of it, that's what concerns me for kids, I guess.
More socialization since this coronavirus thing with people out walking, hiking, riding bikes. Kids are out doing kid stuff for once. Like, it's been really, I've liked it. I've enjoyed taking short drives when I need to go to the store. Obviously, we're not going just randomly, but there's so many more people out, young people riding bikes, and I don't know.
I saw 4 seniors in high school that just graduated. While I was disappointed, okay, they're not staying home, but they were all out riding their bikes. There was 4 of them, and they had big smiles on their faces, and they were, they weren't right up on each other, so they were practicing social distancing, but they were all riding their bikes and had these big smiles on their faces, like you see, like a 9 or 10-year-old boy that learns how to ride his bicycle for the first time, or I guess they're younger than that. They're younger than that when they do it, but it was totally cool. And I've seen, I'm in agreement with you.
What does the resident young person think about all of it? Devin, how say you? Teaching?
I mean, it differs person to person because I am on lockdown, so I don't get to go hang out with people. I have once, and apparently I didn't do good enough, so I don't get to anymore. And it's kind of I obviously spent a lot of time here, and I deep cleaned my room, and it was good to do that. And I found to do other things and stuff. But I mean, if it was like this without the whole not seeing people, I mean, I think it'd be great. And that you guys talked about school and how it's going to really reduce the amount of time that school takes up. And I was already going to school till 11:30 every day, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I mean, some kids need the one-on-one, and I'm one of those, but some kids also I'll be able to work around that. I won't need that. I can learn on my own, and that's fine. But I mean, seeing your friends at school is always good, but you'll still see your actual friends outside of school. You don't have to put up with people that you don't like. You don't ever have to see those people again. And I'm a big person on cutting them out. They don't do anything or add anything to your life. So, I mean, that's pretty nice. And I do like our new schedule. I mean, it's going to, allow for, I have a week and a half, and then I could be done with school pretty much, honestly. So, I mean, it kind of depends.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I should make a distinction here too. I don't know what's going to end up happening with students that say have, physical disabilities that require special services at the school, or learning disabilities that require more, I think I'm trying to think of the right verbiage here, but interventions that are restrictive. I don't know how we handle that when they need services, these students do. So Devin may not be as affected, but other types of students maybe. And those.
I mean, I do go crazy in here. I was going crazy a couple days ago. I had been here for so long, and I'm just losing my mind in here. But I don't know. It's fine. We'll pass. But I'm just hoping that summer isn't as affected as it might be. But we'll see when that time comes. So not too worried about it right now.
Oh crap! You were talking about the special services and stuff, Brandon. That won't go away at all. And I think, and when I'm imagining, here I am, here I'm thinking worst case scenario, I do end up getting this administrative job, and I am new at the job, and suddenly I have to design, along with other people that have been doing it, this new landscape of where education is going to go. But the best part is you could offer much more one-on-one, the special services time. You'll have that. You won't have to deal with 2,000 students at the same time. And in that part, it can actually become like the IPS class. It can become an even bigger class, and kids can come to school and work with those special populations of whatever it is, whether it's the, the severe, the autism room, and then the what they call it, the severe needs. I can't think of the word.
It's important to get the terms right rather than just. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, and there are in most schools those populations, those teachers that work with them. That's something I don't know that we've solved yet in this crisis. We'll see how it goes, but those students and teachers are going to need to go to a physical building more than likely, or something.
And then this also gives us an opportunity to find a way to address kids' mental health needs. And now all of a sudden we have 10 rooms where a counselor could be in there. I don't want anybody to lose their jobs because I like all these people, but let's say 20 teachers get whacked and now we have 15 mental health counselors and that can, lots of different stuff. So I do truly, truly worry about the kids that school is their stability and that is their escape, because home is so awful. I worry about those kids quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the kids that they get out of school just because they can get out of the house and don't have to deal with things at the house. That's a huge thing. And now they can't. So, I don't really know where that goes from this forward. We were supposed to have a flex period, weren't we, starting now?
Yeah, we've got the new redesign schedule that was supposed to start next week. And I
guess, is that just going to roll over to senior year?
Dude, I don't know. I can tell you that this is a major redesign deal. I can see this going to, because I've always said, in my ideal world, classes would be about 30 minutes long. Kids would show up, get the work that they needed, and then the second half of the day, they had their options to get those questions answered, and then you could have football practice, and then, or what if I said football, because that's where, but you could have all of your practices, and then boom, your entire school day is wrapped up into that 8-hour day, and then you're home at a decent time. You can socialize with your family, have family dinner, you can bring all that. There's a lot of benefit to finding a way to re-educate. Parents are at work at the same time kids are at school, boom. And then you could, because that's one of the biggest problems we have, just the lack of positive family interaction. It's a problem in our house. We struggle with it. Laura wants it a lot, and I try to do that for her, but getting all four of us to comply at the same time is incredibly difficult. So, and I think if it were the norm for everybody, because remember when it used to be the norm, Ari, Brandon, when we were kids, it was the norm, at least multiple days a week, right?
Oh, we would get home. My sister and I would get home from whatever practice it was. We were both 3-sport athletes, and we would get home. Dinner was ready. You sat down at the table every night, every single night. Dad got home around the same time that we would get home from practice. Mom was already at home. Dinner was ready. You did not leave the table until dinner was done. Wheel of Fortune was on in the background. That was the only allowable thing. But I have loved, as awful as this situation has been for us, I have loved seeing families outside having dinners. We would sit out on the picnic table doing dinners when we were young. I don't see that anymore with anybody. It's awesome. I love that part of families going for a walk together, brother and sister talking to each other and doing something together instead of on their phones or fighting. I love that. It just has been a negative experience for us. And that's what's hard.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with the people having family time with all of the distractions that we put our kids in front of and ourselves in front of. Most of them have gone away. We've had to figure out how to interact again. That's a beautiful thing to watch. And there, as Nolan also alluded to, there's some downsides to that. It's not always perfect and pretty. It's just, how do we manage all this free time that we have with each other? And there's no distraction we can put ourselves in front of, except for Netflix and the Tiger King.
Oh God.
I'm assuming, Devin, have you watched it?
I started it.
I refuse.
It's the lowest part.
You're gonna get sucked in.
You
We
are.
watched it in one setting. Like we normally don't stay up past 9, and we couldn't stop. You can't stop.
How many times do you think that, like, I did not see that coming? Like every episode, like, what? That's a thing now? And then 10 minutes later they flip it on. Like that is a wild train ride. You have no idea.
How did we not know about this before now? Is what I've never seen anything like this. And obviously a lot of people know we watch the most disturbing stuff on TV and we love it, the serial killer stuff or whatever. And I could not pick my jaw up off the ground.
That Joe Exotic is something else, and Carol, whatever her name, Bird.
Aston.
Oh my God. And then I'm not cancel all these people. That's no one got to see it. Devin, you said you saw it. It's bananas that these people exist in the world.
You guys,
so, anyway,
are you really that shocked that a person like that exists?
Yes. 100%. You watch the show and
after you watch it, yes.
Not just the person, that this community exists. This is not like one weird people happen. This is a gang level stuff.
It's a cult.
A cult.
Level.
It's literally a cult, like a sex cult with trafficking young people in and all. It's nuts, man. It's all around the big cat trade. Yeah.
Partner. Doug's calling.
So for all the listeners, if you've made it this far into this podcast, check it out if you haven't seen it. You should. It's worth getting Netflix for. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's something else. Noah, how's Grit holding up? We haven't talked about the star of the show yet.
He's doing good, man. He's got dad home all day and mom and sister, so he's happy as a pig in poop. You know, he's always got something to do, but now he's a little overstimulated, so he doesn't. His nap time is all screwed up, and his bedtime is all screwed up. He doesn't go to bed until freaking 10 o'clock, and we're trying to cut back on that, but it just doesn't seem like it's going that well. So
it's hard, man. Like time and days don't exist anymore. It's just like, I don't know what it is, right? Is it Sunday, right? Like
it is Sunday.
Who cares?
You know, we have chemo tomorrow. We start chemo tomorrow.
At Children's Mercy.
Mm-hmm. They've got all the respiratory issue kids now go through their own special entrance, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal, you know. And Laura will have them covered up. I'm sure Laura will have a mask on and stuff. So there's really no reason to be too freaked out. I know Children's has had a couple of cases, but from my insider information, they don't have any hospitalizations there. So it's, I don't know. All of this is some of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but.
Laura said
also,
that she has like this bubble thing that she can even put over like the stroller to get in. I mean, I think everybody needs a bubble right now to go to the store.
Just the rest of my life's a giant bubble. So you guys aren't super worried? I'm like,
oh yeah, my wife's worried as hell. I just feel like if you do what the CDC tells you to do, mask up, glove up, cover up, wash your hands, then you don't need to be as worried. If you do what they tell you to do, that you don't have to worry. And so she's like, wow, I can't believe it's that easy for you. And so, but I don't know. I'm not worried. What I'm worried about is now that the crazies are at home all day and they can't go downtown and be crazy with each other, that they're sitting at home. I worry that when my truck is not visible in the driveway, somebody's watching my wife and 2 children, and that if they plan to rob us, they'll wait for dad to be gone. But this is a Second Amendment protected facility, so
True.
we also have knives and bow and arrows and stuff too. So
So it's more of like a feeling of when people get bored that they're more likely to get in trouble and think of stuff to do like that.
We've pulled the vehicles out of the garage. We've tried to make the garage and just the more space for us to have to go to, and then it's space with tools and fresh air. Just that you can be outside, but you're not that far outside. I don't know, but maybe I'm just being a little too vigilant, thinking that somebody's gonna walk all the way, because we're at the back of the neighborhood, so you've got plenty of other easier choices in the front of the neighborhood. But I don't know. But Laura, I don't know. I don't want to say, I don't know who's listening, so I don't want to freak my kids out or my wife out or anything. But that's what I do worry about. Like, the truck's gone, that means the dad's gone. So, but I guess it could have always been that way. So,
everybody's home now. So I don't know. Criminals are lazy and they're not trying to break in, even if mom and Grit are home. Like, it's still something, like, I don't know. I think communities are coming together. We're all looking out for each other more. Everybody else is home. They can look out the window and see someone trying to break in your house too. You have to you've got a whole community of people that have windows that can see stuff. And as we've said 10 times already, I have seen this reminds me of September 11th with people coming together after that. Like however the country rallied, and you see more waves and thumbs up and not so many high fives, but that's okay. But it's just, we're in this together and we're going to get through it, and people are scared. And when we get scared, luckily, I think we come together more. We don't actually distance. Like, this pull to want to get this feels great right now to get to see.
Yeah, we become very tribal, which is, honestly,
the tribe is pretty big. I feel it's the world at this point. We're all trying to help and get this figured out so we can get back kicking butt.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. Most of them. Some people.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people my age throwing parties called Corona parties. So that's a little bit intense, just completely not caring. And that's what's going to make our generation, trash the world even more. But
this is why I'm hard on Ella, which maybe I'm too hard, but it's just like, how do you expect a group of kids that have never been told that they can't do something, and then all of a sudden it's almost impossible to fix, especially if they're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, up to 30-year-olds now?
Yeah, that's true. Well, Ari, how are you on the mend with your foot? That's another question.
I think that's probably been one of the most frustrating parts is through all of this, like, I can't control what's going on. Last year when we had the house up on the market for the whole year and it was a nightmare, the only thing that I can control was when I went to run, how long I ran, all that, and I can't do it. And now I can't go to therapy and it's not healing. And actually the last few days it's been worse. And it's a little scary. I'm pissed. I'm angry because there's so much not in our control right now. And that was the only thing that I could. And now that's taken away too. I don't think I will be able to run anytime soon. It's so bad. And I go through a lot of emotions every day for that. I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry and pissed off and frustrated. And I don't like it because it's not me. I'm always the positive one. I'm trying to be positive for everybody, and I'm having a hard time snapping out of this, along with the house situation. So I'm not doing real well with any of that because I can't run. I can barely get out of bed and walk the first 10 steps. And it scares me because I've gone through all of this and it's worse than it was before I did this. And I don't know why. And I can't go into therapy. I'm trying to do all the exercises that I'm supposed to do. And you know, a lot of people, like I was saying, people are going out for a long walk with their families. I'm not even supposed to be walking long distances. And just for your mental health, that'd be great if we could do that, and I can't even do that. So it's wearing on me big time. So.
You want to borrow Ella's scooter?
We bought a spin bike, and that's
okay.
in the garage. But we have so much stuff in the garage packed in there for our move, that I don't have a lot of room to do anything. And so now that the move is put on hold, I don't know. I'm thinking about getting a storage unit and putting everything in the garage in there for now, except I get a complete workout space so that I can do something. So I can do a project, like projects or painting. Like that was an escape for me, and I can't even get to my stuff because everything was packed and ready to move. So it's
yeah. Have you even thought about getting a pod and then your storage unit's right out in front of your house?
Well, but we're trying to show the house, and
yeah.
Now that our buyers backed out, we were done, contract signed, inspection done. We paid for all of the repairs that they requested, spent all that money, and they broke contract because they were losing money in the stock market. So have I.
I'm here.
So is everybody. I get it. I understand it's scary. It's scary for us. Hey, bud. Say something.
He can't hear you. Hold on a second. Okay, he can hear you now.
Hey, buddy.
Hi.
What are you doing?
I'm just at my house.
You're just at your house?
Mm-hmm.
It's on your face.
What talk?
Oh, sidewalk chalk?
Yeah. I'm just paying.
Is mommy inside?
Yeah.
Can you take my coffee? Well, I know. That's probably dangerous. I'll get it in a second. Are you leaving?
I want some coffee.
Well, tell Mama to get you some coffee. Tell her I'd like a new cup. Oh, well, I'm back.
So, anyways, yeah, we've
He
spent.
picked the perfect time to come see you, didn't he?
Yeah. We've spent, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And yes, people are like, oh, how can they do that? Well, they can, because it happened. Yes, we could sue them. For 5% of the purchase price? But what are we going to do? Just spend more money for them still not to buy the house? And obviously, we're under contract with the new house to buy, but it was contingent on ours being sold, which was all done. You can't show a house right now.
Right.
People can't come and see your house, so I don't know how we're supposed to sell our house when you can't come see it. So we have to just deal with the fact that we're probably not going to get our house. Somebody's probably going to, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to wishful think that nobody can see that house either, so that they can't buy it. But the interest rates, we're locked into an amazing interest rate. If we can't sell this by the time that we need to close on the new one, we lose that. And now interest rates are crap. So, I mean, it just spins and snowballs into just losing more money out of all this and still not getting the house that we bought.
What would you need to do to secure it? You need thousands of dollars.
Well, we're locked in to the loan right now.
Oh, so you'd have to make 2 house payments.
Yeah, but we needed to sell ours to put the equity into the new one for the down payment to get the amazing mortgage rate that we did. So we have to sell our house. It was supposed to be May 1st closing with early occupancy on April 24th for them. So happens that they're military, and his orders to move, that's why they were selling the house, they have been pushed, which could work in our favor. They have talked about moving the closing to June 1st for them because he hasn't gotten orders to move. That's fine and dandy if we could get people in here to see the house and sell it. But I mean, and who wants to buy a house right now? Nobody wants to buy a house right now. It's scary and the interest rates suck. So I don't know.
Interest rates
It's just
good.
They're good. They weren't as good as they were a month ago.
I gotcha.
Right. They're good, but people who, okay, so for this place, a lot of people, the people that were going to buy it were buying it for their kid who was going to school.
Mm-hmm.
There's no school. People who.
You had the perfect buyer.
And then there's a person who was interested, who saw it right before we went under contract. And I think what really pisses me off is we were in a bidding war with 2 buyers, and we accepted this offer, and now they were the ones that backed out. And the other ones that wanted it, they're under contract with the new house. I don't know how that's going to pan out. But we also had another person, she messaged me privately and said, I saw your house right before you guys went under contract. I loved it. I would do anything to be in there. She's a hairdresser. She can't work
either. Yeah.
So yet again, how this is affecting somebody. Yeah, she wants to buy a house. She wants to, and she can't. So there's another potential buyer that can't do it because of all this. It's just snowballing, and it's causing people to lose the house that they dreamed of buying. We've been buying furniture. We've been selling other stuff, packing stuff up, and now we have to rewind and start showing the house again. So I don't know. I'm angry. I'm not the positive one in this podcast right now, and I hate that because it's not me. But
well, I think the best part about us doing this is everyone's going through something right now, and it's about how you respond and how you react. And like Brandon and I were talking about you before you came on, and it's just like it's like when you're talking about that's up there on the dealing. What is he screaming for?
That's how I feel.
Right,
nice
but you know, like
I
big major financial issues, they turn into, you know, marital problems and
yeah,
and like I think ultimately you guys will be perfectly fine. You've done too much good, and you're such a good person that I think it's all going to work out. It may look different than you imagine, but I believe that everything's going to, like, as far as person that cares about people and has a general positive outlook on life, this is all going to work out for you, especially from the adversity that you've gone through.
I can't, like,
But it sucks right now, and I'm not going to be the
does.
person to tell you that, well, it doesn't suck that bad, because you know what? I know what it's like for something to suck pretty bad. And it's
well, and it, like, and if the, I mean, I haven't said it enough, but the one person who brings it back into perspective is Grit.
Yeah.
And like, you guys were the first ones when we told you what was going on. I could never be more thankful that we are healthy. We are not sick. It's not like we're going to be homeless. You know, so it puts it into perspective, and I try to remind myself of that every day. I think I have a hard time with it's going to all work out for the better, because last year, house was on the entire year. It was a nightmare. And then when we got our house sold this year, I'm like, there was a reason. You know, I'm glad that we didn't sell last year, and there was definitely a reason. But then we got into this awesome interest rate, found a buyer right away, found the house that we want right away. So I kept telling myself, okay, that's why it didn't all work out last year. Okay, that's why we went through hell. That's why we struggled so much last year, was to get to where we were about 3 weeks ago. So it's like it's another sucker punch. And I'm trying to figure it out. And I don't like the headspace that I'm in. I don't like the negativity. And I can't control anything. I can't go work out. I can't do anything to make it positive. And that's where I'm struggling. So I don't know. You guys are going to have to pick up the slack on that. And I don't know. I could use some advice on this big time, because I feel a little lost right now. No,
I would do what I would follow through with the idea that you first proposed to yourself. I think I need to get a storage unit and get my workout. Find a way to create workout space. If that means moving Jason's lazy boy out and put it in the bedroom, do it.
That's what's in front of me. That's what's in the garage right now, blocking my stuff.
His lazy boy?
Yeah. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. His lazy boy is sitting there. No, I think it's good, because one of the things that I needed to move to the forefront is my boxing bag. And thank God I never got rid of that, because I'll admit it, I just want to hit stuff right now.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
It helps. It totally does.
That's what I would do. I would, the working out stuff is so important to you. I would find a way to make that happen. And
yeah, I think that's going to help.
That I do, because you're not getting those endorphins in your head, especially since you can't walk. That's what I would do. I think that would help you greatly. And do you have a bike? A nice bike?
Yeah, like, so
it's stuck in storage and shit.
No, it's in the garage, but there's so much crap around it that, yeah, like we ordered one from Amazon last week, a spin bike. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to drop $3,500 on a Peloton right now, even though I'd love to, but you can do the app for 90 days for free. So I have a great spin bike. I'm going to download that app, but I need my garage back. I mean, I paint, I do projects. There's like, I need to get to my saw. I need to get to my sander. It's driving me crazy, because those are things I can control. And I think that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm not sleeping. I'm sleeping like 2.5 hours a night. So if I'm up at 2:00 in the morning, if I can go out to the garage and do something, which I was used to doing, I think that would help. So yeah, tomorrow, first thing when those storage units open, I'm going to call and see what I can get, because that's the only solution I can come up with right now.
I think that David Goggins would tell you to take your effing ass and get you a storage unit.
I started listening to him the other day, and I had to turn it off because I was just, like, yeah.
You're ready.
I just wanted to yell right back.
Yeah.
I'll
You
revisit
don't
him.
know what you're talking about, David.
Oh yeah, I've had conversations out loud with that are not pretty at all. But anyways, go to somebody else. Talk about
Devin,
something positive.
Yeah.
how are you?
Pretty loaded question there.
Well, I just know that
I'm-
you're struggling. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to talk about, too much of it.
well, you don't have to talk about. I mean, there are every parent that listens to this, which there's a bunch of them, and I didn't realize that until I was talking to one of them, and they were like, "When are you guys going to restart the podcast? I like listening to it." There's a parent I just talked to who's got kids that go to school with you, so it's going to you're not the only. Everyone, like I said, everyone's going through some crap. So you don't have to explain exactly, but how are you doing with it, especially since you can't work, you can't probably see your girlfriend, I would imagine. And
Or you're not supposed to see your girlfriend, right?
No, I'm not allowed to see her. No, I can't see her. No.
and just the fact that I know what the stages of grief are. You lost your grandfather, who was a huge person in your life, and now you've got all day to think about the stuff that you don't want to think about that you can avoid. I thought getting you your little supercomputer was a positive. So
That was good. I'm very happy with getting this set
Nolan
up.
was
Completely
very
now. It's very good. But I
he
mean,
texted us separately. I don't know. I think it was last week or whatever. Or me and Jason, and he was so focused on getting you that computer. He needed to get you something to help you out. Like he was stoked about getting that for you. I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely everything's set now for what I wanted it to be. At this point in the podcast, it's coming to what it needed to really be, and I'm really happy with it. But for the mental health aspect of this whole ordeal and what's going on, and yeah, everybody has stuff going on, and this can either make it a little bit worse or it can make it better. But I mean, for a lot of people, it will make it worse, and it has made it a little bit worse for me. But I've also taken some strides to try other things recently over the last couple of months, and I'll say when things come at me now, I definitely take a second to actually realize what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about what I'm going to do. And I think my best example was yesterday with you, Mr. Henderson, when I was editing that podcast and I told you that the video was lost. I would have generally blown up about that. You know how I've done about that. I've lost video before and I freaked out and I've gone completely lost my mind, gotten super upset and ran around yelling and stuff. And I didn't. I just texted you. I was like, there's nothing I can do about it, but I still have other stuff, so I'm going to work on that. And that's what I did. And I really just completely let it go. And I'll say that's due to other things. I've been trying a lot of things recently for mental health. I do take antidepressants and anti-anxiety and drugs like that. And I'll say that those definitely give me a certain relief that I haven't had before. They're not a fix-all by any means, but they're definitely something that if you're willing to try and do right, it can definitely help you. And also just, taking a different outlook on life. There's some things that you can't control. And in my life, those happen to be, some of the building blocks of my life. And those are never going to change at this point in time. And I kind of had to let it go. I'm kind of at the point where I'm just I'm becoming an adult and I got to do my own thing because I can't change these other people and I can't change what they're going to do. So I'm going to control what I can and I'm going to take it one day at a time and I'm going to do what my life actually needs and not worry about other people. Because at the end of the day, you need to surround yourself with people that actually care and mean something to you. And they might mean something to you, but you know what? Sometimes it really comes off otherwise and things can be said and there's a bunch of stuff. And it's just you know, you got to be you. And that's something that I've realized really recently, is that there's only a couple people that I can actually be myself around. And those are the people that I'm like, you know, those are the people that I know I'm going to know forever. And they're going to be, you know, my friends forever and whatnot.
You feel like you could be yourself around us?
Yes. Maybe in the beginning I wasn't, as just because I was meeting like all of you guys, but now I really, yeah, I mean, I just, it's not like I don't care. It's just like, you know, if you don't like me, I mean, that's your problem. You got to deal with me anyways, because I'm a part of this. So, I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
You're really good at what you do, and you're more than that. You're a really good dude. So, we're lucky to have you.
Yeah. You probably said everything that I needed to hear at this time, and you're how much younger than me. So thank you for the slap in the face. I need that from you as well sometimes.
Everybody follow Joey Coco Diaz on Instagram for
Oh
your
my God,
daily inspiration.
that and the Tiger King are keeping me alive right now.
Oh, I can't do it.
Devin, what are you watching right now? Like, is there something that you're like binging?
I just got Hulu.
Nice.
You know, My Name is Earl.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I used to watch it when I was younger. King of the Hill and My Name is Earl were my favorite shows, and I just got Hulu again and started watching that. But other than that, you know, I watched Goodfellas like 6 times in the last 3 days. So I can't really.
Guys, I've been watching Shark Tank like you wouldn't believe.
That's a good one too.
I'm trying to find. I don't.
You're gonna invent something.
Well, I don't want to invent something, but I just want to see how people market themselves, and like, I believe in this TeamGrit thing, and I took the studio apart and told my wife, like, I don't want to do anything. It's like, I don't want to teach, I don't want to coach, I don't want to be a principal. I was having a pretty rough couple days too, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't know. I felt feeling sorry for myself or whatever. But I keep watching Shark Tank. Like, okay, because you get people that responded to, I was ready to give up, and I ultimately, in my brain, think about like, how are we gonna grow this thing, but not. It'd be great if we had $25,000 and Devin could have his camera and we could turn that room into a real like studio set. That'd be great, but we don't have that. So, and at some point, I know you guys don't need the money to do this, but Devin needs some freaking money, and it'd be great to at least give you guys gas money, you know. And I know it doesn't cost you but $30 to come in, and not even whatever much it costs. But so how can I take care of those around me and build this? So
I think we just got to keep getting better, and we build it, they will come. We'll get advertisers, whatever. We just got to put out good content that people want to hear and be better.
I think a big chunk of the our stimulus check is going to come from things that could make us money for this. That's what I'm going to use ours for. Because I'm finding out how much those stickers cost and how much those machines cost, and they basically can pay for themselves very quickly.
Yeah.
But also, it's a way to do like Aries mug or these mugs here. It'd be cool for custom stick, you know, you could get like TeamGrit with your name underneath it or whatever. So little things like that, the custom stuff where they've got low cost, high margins. That way we can jump forward easier. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Well, I think this would be a good time to thank people again for listening. If you're still with us here, find us, keep sharing. We appreciate that. And we're trying to grow this. We need all the help we can get with that because this is uncharted for all of us. We're not podcasters like by nature, but we like this and we want to keep it growing. So keep telling friends. We appreciate it. We like to see the numbers go up every week when we get new listeners. Devin, any new locales listening? Last time it was, well, boy, where do we have people listening? In South Africa, you said? Anything?
Yeah. I was looking at our audio and, there's people that I've started a couple of things that, I never even heard of before I knew YouTube and Google and iTunes, but I mean, we have people on Stitcher and Google Listening, Android Eye and stuff like that. And like, these are just, I mean, for all those people, like you found us just by like looking like on that website, because we had never, promoted that at that point in time. So for those people, share us more, and then we're just trying to grow as much as we can and get our word out there.
For sure. Well, it's good sage-like wisdom there from Devin yet again.
Yeah,
The best
I was glad. I was kind of shocked to hear people saying, "Hey, when are you starting that podcast up again?" So that was
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, I was happy to hear that. So, well, we've been on for about an hour, and